Hey Fabnistas. Oh my gosh. Since I've got my makeup table, I've been wanting to do a video of me doing my makeup since I've elevated my makeup game and continuing to keep elevating it. But I'm going to tell you the honest truth is that my makeup table we got because we're renovating our master bathroom. And there's finally a space where I can have a makeup table in there. And so it's just sitting here currently in our bedroom. And I was just holding off because I was like, oh, I can't do it until the master bathroom is finished because everything is a wreck because we are renovating the bathroom. And so a lot of stuff has been moved into this bedroom. We repainted the ceilings and now we got to repaint the walls in the bedroom. So it just is a shambles. And I was holding off. And I don't know, at the end of July, I was like, Doris, this is ridiculous. You are in your own way. And because I have this perfectionist thing within me that I worked really hard not to have it really show up in my transformational coaching business and my publishing business. But since I decided to step over into the fashion influencer, content creator business, I have literally, that perfectionism has just risen up and it just holds me back from doing a lot of things. I get on a wave and I'll do some things and then I stop. And at the end of July, we're going to have to let this go. And we're just going to have to do it despite things not being quote unquote perfect. Because I know, like I said, I have a transformational coaching. I have coached tons of women. I have been coached by tons of rock star coaches. I get that. I know that. Yet still, it creeps up. And it's creeping up very much in this business. So I'm going to do a little chit chat, get to know me a little bit more. Why I'm now focused on doing my makeup? Well, first of all, let me say I'm the Fabulous Doris Birch. And yes, that is my business persona. I stepped into that business persona in 2013 in my coaching business because it was the edge I was using to differentiate myself because I was really working with women to step into their most fabulous self. And in 2014, I did a brand makeover and I worked with two phenomenal guys who took what I was putting out in the world, what I said I wanted to do, and churned it up into their magic bubble. And voila, my whole brand came out. So my coaching business is called The Fab Factor. And I had a message tagline, don't be invisible, be fabulous. Because I had stepped into calling myself the Fabulous Doris Birch, like I said, in 2013. Well, 2014, I did the business makeover. And I just put on the Jason Wu Magic Spell Potion 5 primer. I love this. And so as that's drying on my face, I really had to allow myself permission to understand what don't be invisible, be fabulous. What did that message mean? God planted that message in the brand team I work with for me. It was my message for me to step into and evolve. And that was a huge pivotal moment for me because I had to really grasp it. And so one of the things I definitely wanted to do was really define fabulous. What did fabulous mean? Yes, Webster Dictionary has a definition of fabulous, but so does the Fab Factor because ours needs to be deeper, transformational, higher frequency, higher vibration for women to step into. How we define fabulous here at the Fab Factor and Find Your Fab Factor, which is my style blog title, is fabulous is the euphoric feeling that only owning your power and living in it can bring. So fabulous is everything you ever wanted to be, do, and have. Therefore, that was a big container that women could step into because one of the things that I wanted to make really clear about women, yes, I go by the Fabulous Doris Birch. Yes, I own and continually to own my fabulousness and what that means, but it means living in my power. And therefore, all the women I was working with in my coaching business could learn to live in their own power, which then makes them fabulous too. because it's the euphoric feeling. It's the feeling of living in and owning your power, which is so big and transformational. And it really touches even what I do now with clothing. So my first love has always been fashion. I came out my mom's womb with it already programmed in my DNA. That's what I loved. I've loved it from the beginning. I majored in fashion merchandising. And so I had an early career in my 20s in the fashion retail merchandising space and stepped out of it, went back to school, got a master's degree in human resources and management because I wanted to get into the corporate office. And so I stepped into HR. I worked for a building material company. So I still always stayed in the retail sector after I got out of apparel retail, but it was different ones. I went in building materials retailing, and then I went in telecommunication retailing. All the building and the telecommunication side was in the corporate office of two different companies with a focus on building the retail end of the business. And so I was in HR in one division, and then the next division, I started in HR and then I went into retail merchandising. But I've had, even when I look back, because if there's times when you think you can always been far off, I wanted to be a buyer. And I used to think I never was a buyer. And then I forgot. I was like, oh, you worked as a purchasing agent, which is AKA buyer for a company. But the things that I bought, they weren't clothes or anything. But I still was a purchasing agent buyer for paper products, believe it or not. Paper products, letterhead, envelopes that businesses use, source that out. It's so insightful when you can look back and see you've always been in alignment, just in a different form or fashion than you initially thought. So anywho, let's get back to where we are currently. So yes, with the fabulousness. So even now, I have the tagline, the trademark, don't be invisible, be fabulous, because with women and clothing. Now, I have a focus on women 50 and older because as it dawned on me that when I stepped into my brand makeover, when I declared that I was the Fabulous Doris Birch, I turned 50 years old. Who would have thought? That it's all making sense. It's all coming very clear now. So, but the Fabulous Doris Birch, when I turned 50 years old, I own that. And the significance of it really makes sense now, more so than it did then, because then I didn't feel it so much. But now in this part of the industry that I'm in, and seeing women as they get older and how they hide and shrink and become invisible. And we want to blame society, and there is a societal aspect to it, technically. But really, I got to thinking this morning, and I did a post about it, was that really we are our own reason why we aren't being seen, why we are invisible, because it's the clothes that we are wearing. It's the buy-in that we are getting that, oh no, you can't possibly wear that because you were over 50 years old. And who made up that stupid rule? Where's this age thing? And I was listening to somebody this morning. I was watching a YouTube channel as someone I had never watched before. And she was remaking clothing outfits from different influencers out there. And one woman, I don't know how she worded it, but basically she clarified it that we would know that this particular woman was older and wearing what she was wearing. And I was like, wow, was that really necessary? Because she didn't do it on the other women whose clothing that she remade, but it was the older woman, which was the first woman in her video. And I was like, there we go. It's that little subtle little message that, oh my gosh, you're an older woman and you decided to wear that. You put that look together. And so I realized this is huge because media and brands tend to fall in line to that whole concept of, oh my, this ageism thing. And I didn't really focus on it, and I don't really focus on it to any degree, because one of the reasons I had to think about why does this not really affect me so much. And this is the Milani Concealer Perfect. And I'm going to tell you, so I learned from Monroe Steele about the Yucca app on my phone. Let me find it. This app, Yucca. Well, I guess the Yucca app. They have a home page. I don't know. But you can put in and search to find if a product is good. It has good ingredients. And I am going to, like, everything I have now has a good score on it from the Yucca app. Because one thing I just do not play about is my skin. I really don't play about my skin. I love my skin. And so I want to put the best things on my skin and not have any problems. So, here's the deal. I'm looking at you in the thing, but I have to have my magnifying mirror and my lighted mirror so I can see up close. Because even though I have a mirror there, I gotta be able to see what I'm doing. So this I put on my eyes, the concealer. So back to what I'm talking about. How women are putting themselves in the whole boat of not being seen and hiding invisible by what they're wearing. Because it doesn't matter if you're young or old. Here's just a truth. Young or old, no, age does not have anything to do with a woman not being seen. If she is wearing clothes that diminish who she is, if you are wearing clothes that make you hide, not be seen, that doesn't matter how old you are. That can happen to any woman. However, since we're talking about the woman that's 50 plus, that seems to be more common that a lot of women can do. I know that I feel very fortunate that I'm in this content creator space because the women who are 50 plus are rocking it and showing people how to do it in a fabulous way. But I'm going to be honest, in my transformational coaching publishing side, which I worked that business over on Facebook, primarily Facebook, LinkedIn. Then you get the regular quote unquote woman who is just business minded and maybe doesn't really care about what she's wearing. And that's where I see it really bad. You can go to a conference and you can go in a room and you'll be in a sea of room of women who are hiding in the clothes that they're wearing. You don't see them because of what they're wearing. It doesn't fit. They either haven't found their fat factor to define their style, or I don't know, or they think they're supposed to. Well, I'll go back to when I started working in the corporate space. I never ever got the memo that you are to wear these boring suits. I have had a style of my own from the get-go. I know how to dress professional, but dressing professional does not mean I wear a boring suit that doesn't do anything for me. I wore clothes that highlighted who I was, a standout, and all the things. And I remember when I was working at this one job, I was the building materials job for that company in HR. And I had a white male boss who did not like me. I think about the insanity of late 40s, 50-something-year-old white male having an issue with a how old was I? In my late 20s, very early 30s age range when I was there. Really? And I didn't like I had a high profile job either. I just had a regular old job. And he didn't like me. And he said something to me one time that I had no clue what it was. He said, "You are, what do you call? A shoe horse? No, horseshoe?" I don't know now. Shoe horse, whatever it did, it implied when I inquired later on, it was just about me having so many clothes because I have clothes. And I don't know, are either shoes one? I don't know. But I thought, wow, that's so interesting. And that particular man, he ended up being let go from the company and he deserved that completely. Because I remember also when I started working at the company, I was working on my second master's degree in government business relations. Why, you ask? One thing I will do is when I was in a phase of trying to really figure out what I wanted to do, I was like, and when I can't figure out what I really want to do, I will go back to school. That was my MO back then. And so when I applied to work there, Since I technically had one master's degree, because I had that degree, it was done. It was legitimately done. I was in school to get another one, but it's not done. So I don't need to tell you I'm working on a degree if it's not done. So anyway, they had a tuition reimbursement program, but you had to work for the company for 6 months. So after I worked for the company for 6 months, I applied for the tuition reimbursement. And do you know this man, and I do not remember his name to this day, how insignificant he was, had the audacity to say to me, literally, he told me, "Oh, you're not smart enough to be able to get a master's degree and work this job." Oh, see, he didn't realize who my parents are and what they instilled in me. And I had a whole lot of confidence young. My mom made sure I was confident as I was growing up into being a young woman, stepping into womanhood. That level of confidence was instilled to me. So when I met that kind of human being in the workforce, I would be prepared and equipped to deal with that human being. And I graciously, because I was gracious, of course, I'm in a corporate setting, I'm educated, highly educated, was quite sure to let him know, "Oh, obviously I am, because I've been working this job and attending school for the last 6 months. And, what you got to say about that, basically." His face literally changed because he was so mad that he had to sign that form. Because if he didn't, really, we're in HR. You are going to create an HR issue for me to be able to sue you and the company for tuition reimbursement? Right. So he was so mad. Oh, he was so mad. And of course, he just couldn't stand me. And I just think about the level of that. I just came in, did my job, and went home. Now, I did it quite fabulously. I'm dressed to the hills every single day, smelling good and all of that. But hey, I was required to come in there, do the job. I did the job, learned the job, all those things. And I'm telling you, I got out of his department as soon as I could. And soon after I got out of his department and I was in compensation and benefits when I first started working there. And then I went into the employee relations side. And right after that, they let him go. And I was like, praise the freaking Lord. Thank you, God, because these special people in the world. So anywho, where am I going? I'm all over the place because I'm talking and doing makeup. I got primer on, set my eyeshadow. This is a lip conditioner. And this lip conditioner actually is from Avon. Avon products. I love Avon products. My mom sold Avon products when I was growing up, even into adulthood. My mom was a registered nurse. She was, an incredible force in nature. So my mom was born in 1926. And so back then, Black women could either be nurses or teachers. And so my aunts went into education and my mom went into nursing. And so she was part of the first Black nurses. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. She's part of the first Black nurses in Kansas City, Missouri. That nursing school, there was General Hospital number 1, had General Hospital. And then when they decided to implement nurses, Black nurses, they created General Hospital number 2. So she was part of the General Hospital number 2 of Black nurses, and they were trained hard. Actually, really, because my mom was good. I think they were trained probably better than doctors were trained at the time because they made it hard because they had to know their stuff, if you know. So it was really interesting. My mom passed away 2 years ago in 2023 in May. And my cousin who went in nursing, because mom was a nurse. So like my were in education, my aunts were in education. My one cousin went in nursing because of my mom. Her sister went in engineering. I went in fashion. So there was the thing. But I was the black sheep going into fashion. Like nobody take it that I was majoring in fashion merchandising. Like, oh my God, like that not a legitimate career. Like obviously must be. They have a major for it. You were given degrees for it. So anyway, I digress even more. So my cousin told an interesting story at mom's funeral. It was something I had never heard. I had never heard that story. So when my mom and their classmates graduated from nursing school, they were so still racist that they didn't have them actually working, doing nursing work. They had to clean windows and things like that. And I was like, hearing that story made me love my mom so much more and see how privileged I got to be, because no, have been like, no, error. They did not an option. It was, I'm going to conquer this. I'm going to rise above these people. And a lot of them had children. Like my mom had my sisters. And so she had to take care of her and my sisters. And, she went to nursing school with 2 young kids and husband and all the things. And I'm like, wow. My mom got married and had my sisters like she had at high school, just that whole journey. And one of the things my mom did, now her love was modeling. My mom was into fashion too. So I got that bug from her. So when I said it came out of my DNA, yeah, it came to me because my mom, it was planted her then through me. Her behind off. I still have some of her clothes, and I'm so excited to have some of her clothes because, going shopping with my mom was incredible. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. So my mom, she didn't buy it. She bought nothing but the best. So it's like interesting when we talk about Black luxury. Like Black luxury been around way before our generation, the generation before, and the generation before. Black luxury, my grandmother, Black luxury, my mom, Black luxury. Black been around for those Black folks that stepped into it. So it's not a new thing. I know people think it's new, but it's not a new thing. And so like all of a sudden this new generation is the generation of Black luxury. Hell to the no. Okay, no, it's before you, wasn't in your family, but it's been around. But it was in my family. So I just really don't like window shop, because my mom, when you go shopping, you go because you're going to buy something. You're not going to look, you're going to go buy. And it's amazing because when we walk in stores, like we still have the Plaza in Kansas City, but it's not the Plaza that I grew up with. So you had all the luxury stores. You had the Saxes and Hartsfeld's and Bonwit Taylor and those stores. And people knew my mom. When they saw mom walk in that door, because they learned who their customer was, they knew she wasn't play. And so they like, Miss Crawford, da, 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 da. I grew up seeing that. And it's just really powerful. And so, yeah. So my mom earned every bit of what she got to do with her life. I go back to say one of her dreams was being a model. So she wanted to really be a model. And if she was going to be a model, of course, in her era, she really would have leave the United States and go somewhere else. But she had kids. So she stepped into nursing. And she became a phenomenal nurse, like a rock star, phenomenal nurse. And so, yeah, so the history. So I don't know where I'm at now. What do I need to apply? Oh, my foundation. So my foundation, blotter, double wear. What's the color? Let me see. My color is 5N1, and it's stay in place makeup. And I love it. I love this makeup. Yeah, so what am I saying next? So not to put too much on, I just tap it there, so I can just tap it and just tap it. Because I don't want to put a lot on. But going back to how women get in their own way of their own invisibility and not being seen, it's the clothes that you are choosing to wear, not defining your style or buying into this ageism thing that you can't wear stuff. I mean, there is, I think her name, but one of the Kate Heckle models, Christy. Oh my gosh, she is so fabulous. But she'll post like comments that she gets people. And I'm just like, it just audacity of people to comment and try to degrade another woman. Like she shouldn't wear, it is this concept like you shouldn't wear those, like she shouldn't wear any of those clothes that she models. Like, why not? Because she's 68 years old and I'm like, thank you. Grateful for the 68-year-olds, the 70-year-olds, the 80-year-olds, the 90-year-olds. If there are 100-year-olds out there still rocking their style, so that we know we have permission to rock our own style. And I think that's what I love so much about being on this platform. It exposes you to women who live in other places. It exposes you to women who are older, who are living their most fabulous life in fabulous clothes, doing their thing, traveling the world, and making an impact. I love that. Now, what I would love to see even more and more and more is these brands to start picking up and utilizing women more so. I recently signed on be a gray hair with who am I gray model with? Gray, who are you? I'm like, who am I model with? Lord mercy. Oh my gosh, who are they? Celebrate the Gray. So I'm so excited that I recently signed on to be a model with the Gray. And I was listening to a call they did with two of the models who have work. I just was outdone some of the things they said about they'll go on these jobs and people are just basically shocked. Technically, my interpretation of saying is that people are just shocked that they really can walk upright. Like they don't need a wheelchair. Like, what? Because they have hair. I was like, wow, this is this society's thinking hair. And I know it is a process to do gray hair. Trust me. I know. I had my own process. I did not step into having my gray hair without a lot of mental stuff that I had to do to have my gray hair. I literally was just tired. I was tired of having to color my hair all of the time. These are my highlighters, concealers. These are my concealers by Kosa. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but these are those. One, the light color is 5.8 N and the dark is 9.5 N. So I did neutral in my colors. And I'm just outdone. So yeah, my whole process, I started thinking about letting my hair go gray. Oh, when was it? 2016. And I just couldn't. I tried and then I was like, oh no, I can't do it. And then in 2017, I thought about it near the end of 2017 and I was like, okay, you know what? We're gonna do this. We're going to step into having this gray hair. It's hair. And I wish I would have really documented my whole process. I really didn't. I have pictures, but I didn't really document it or talk about the journey and stuff. But what I was that I created and manifestos around me stepping into having gray hair, because I like, if this is my natural hair color, so let me back up and say I have been premature gray since I was 18. So I've been dealing with gray hair like a long time. And I've been coloring my hair for a long time. And so my cousin, who also was the nurse, so she also was premature gray. And she let her hair go gray like a while and stuff. But the biggest in gray hair, which is the whole probably society thing around women and aging and what you're wearing, or saying you can't wear this because you're this age or that, which is absolutely, I think it's the same thing about gray hair. People just do it bad. We have just done so badly that we just go, oh, And so one of the things I was just like, well, if I'm who I am, so if I'm going to let my hair go gray, nothing's going to change about me. I just, we just have to look amazing because you care about the outer appearance. You care. So you're to do the things that are going to support you to have this hair do what it does. And I think that is the game that changed for me, realizing that it's me. It's me. So I have terrible gray hair. I didn't know how my hair was going to grow in. I had no clue what it was going to look like, how it was going to do, or anything. But I was willing. That God knew what he was doing with my hair. You know, this is my hair. So I embraced it and I loved it. I remember my stylist was like, oh, we're going to have to cut your hair and blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, we're not. We're not cutting it. Took me a long time to grow my hair back out. Don't want short hair anymore. Done that. Don't want to do it. And I'm not doing it just because I'm going gray. And that, oh, you need to have short hair if you're going to have gray. The other concept is like, oh, you need to be having short hair if you're going to go gray. No, don't need to have long hair and be gray. Like, what the hell? So live with that. And I'm like, you know, we're going to da-da-da-da-da. So said affirmation. I said people would be coming up to me saying my hair looks amazing and all the thing and da-da-da-da-da. Even to this day, so I have people saying that to me because I'm like, I'm not available for cray-crayness. I think since I've had gray hair on my YouTube channel, I had one person be really offended about my gray hair, which was really interesting. I mean, whoever is to and let be a part of the society, you know, they did like vomiting at that. And I'm thinking, wow, really? Like my gray hair makes you create an emoji of throwing up. And to tell me, they wanted to make sure to let me know that I just need to take better care of myself. And I'm thinking, obviously don't know me, because if you knew, I take very good care of myself. I'm all about self-care and doing all the things and that, like, you don't know me at all. And just because I decided to let my hair go gray, surely can't mean that because of that, I don't take care of myself, or any other woman in the world doesn't take care of herself because she let her hair go gray. Right. In a world, people can have any color hair they want to have. Any color. And the gray hair offends you. Right. Man, get a freaking life. You know, these people, what audacity. So that's the only crazy one that I've had. So I'm not available for it at all. That kind of energy. And so, yeah. But I love hair. It's amazing. I'm grateful. I'm trying to see what I just did with something. Oh, yeah. I'm grateful. I'm trying to put things up as I use them just because it makes it easier to do stuff. And so, yeah. So I love hair. So this makeup process, it's an evolution. I gotta get better. I did this one a little bit differently than I would normally do. Just to see how it's gonna look. I'm going to film my last summer dress video because it's October. No, it's still summertime and it's still freaking hot. And so still required to wear summer things. So I think that if you want to change your thoughts about how you're being perceived in this world that we live in, that you should look at, have you really defined your wardrobe? Like, are you really like you do your own style? Like, are you hiding from the world? Especially if you're somebody out here doing the thing. Like, if you have a mission that you're out here doing the thing that is really your obligation to wrong. See, this is why I should be talking and doing this stuff. I think I did that wrong. But I think it's your mission and obligation to yourself to make sure you're seen. Like, you can own any that you walk in. Like, you get to be fabulous you want. And I caught myself, I'm going to be honest, judging somebody. And I got to, you know, we're all good from time to time. And now I was like, no, you know, Doris, this is who has made to own her power. Doris, you talk about women owning their power, and then when they show up owning their power, because it's different than how they've been, then you may look at them in a certain way. And I caught myself with that. And so I'm like, I checked myself, because I was like, no, I'm actually happy she's doing that, because it sent a message to me. Do it yourself, Doris. Show up and do it yourself. Like, get out of your way and do this thing, because what are you waiting for? Like you like, of this age thing. And so how are you going to take this dimension, this era of your fabulousness, and really show the power of aging in a way that is freak powerful? It's what I said, living in and owning your power. And I think that's what this age 50 and older really does, is give so much freaking permission to own your power. My goodness, to own your power. Let's see, which one is this? I'm gonna spray. This is all nighter. I'm gonna spray just to, I don't know if I'm doing that in order or not. Man, this whole process of learning how to do makeup. Oh, I was going to tell you that story too. So how'd I get into where I was like, oh, we got to up our own makeup? Years ago, I was like, back when Oprah show, and, they would show her makeup done and all that. And I was like, that was back probably in 2014, 2013, probably so, 2012. I know. That was like, you know what? We're going to get our makeup done. So anything I had to go to or anything, I just went and got my makeup done. So I get my hair in Tricoshi. And so I had a makeup artist and she does my lashes. I'm taking a break on lashes right now and just doing them myself because I really get frustrated that they just fall out so fast. Oh, anywho, so I was my makeup done all the time for anything. Going to a luncheon, whatever, because I just didn't want to do it myself. Because I wanted to believe in the story that I just didn't know how to really do my makeup, like have really powerful makeup. Like I didn't, I wanted to elevate from that. So Tricoshi decided to let go of their makeup department. And so that service wasn't going to be available. Therefore, I was like, oh, I'm going to have this myself. I'm going to have to get my own products. So I use the Huda Beauty Baby Face Bake that I used. And I'm going to do the eyes. Now I have three brands. I have powdered Fenty Beauty, which I love, but I don't start with a powder. Actually, oh my God, let me put my glasses on. Gucci Westman. The Westman Adelaide iPods. It's pricey. It's a good cream. I like cream. So it comes in a Noir, black, champagne, and Vin Rouge. I use champagne and Vin Rouge. And I'm almost down to, I'm like, I want some of that color. I don't know. I need to see if they have come out with their own individual pods. That would be fabulous if they do. But if not, I'll have to buy another one. Where are my makeup brushes? My eye brushes. We have this one. We put this back. There's just something going on here. So what was I going to say? Crease brush tape. I realized that you have to use different brushes for different things and all that. And so I'm like, oh, so much to doing this. So I have that. Then I have Merit. I have 4 shades in Merit. And then I have the Fenty Beauty that I go over last. So what are we talking about? I don't know. Oh, me doing my own makeup. So I'm learning to do my own makeup. And I think I'm doing good. I mean, I get better. But when I had to realize that, you needed it for different things, that was like, oh, okay. We got to have different for blending. Because one thing I realized, you got to blend this stuff. Just looks crazy. And I'm not going to have crazy looking makeup. If I'm going to do it myself, I'm going to master how to do it. So I've watched different YouTube videos. There's Nina, I know her last name, but she does makeup demonstrations. That really is her whole channel is focused. I've watched Janae Naylor do make. She's done it. And lately it's another woman on YouTube. She just popped in feed. She makes those horrible looking face. Like she makes her face crazy and she scrunches her face and she makes herself look stuff. She puts stuff on her face and on her teeth to make it look like she's ugly. But she's not. She's ugly at all. And then she transforms herself. she'll pick a makeup by some celebrity and she'll transform, and she does a really great job. So I've been watching her lately and stuff, and her videos, there's some from like a year ago too. And her makeup so powerful done that she actually, even though she's a pretty woman, when she does her makeup, she actually looks like a different person. Like she does makeup to the degree, like she looks different. Man, talk about makeup. Makeup is powerful. So if you learn to do it right, it really does enhance everything about you. So, and I'm like, okay with that. That I'm anything against that. Utilizing things to do that supports you and looking and being your most fabulous self. Because as I define fabulous, it is living, it's the euphoric feeling of living in and owning your power. So fabulous, everything you ever wanted to be, do, and have, which, that covers everything. Because to do in this world that we currently live in, it requires you, your power, to step into a level of confidence in owning your power, being absolutely unapologetic about who it is and all the things about who you are and all the things. And also just owning powerfulness. I don't know all things that I'm going to be stepping into. I have a fabulous opportunity that is happening at the end of the month that I will share more with you guys as we closer to that last week of the month. So I'm pretty freaking excited. But you know how that opportunity me was literally showing up, just putting in the space and being seen and just owning my own power. That's the game changer in all of this. Opportunities will come, but you do have to give yourself permission to own your power for those opportunities to come to you and be ready for them. Whatever this, if you're ready to be ready, I don't know, something like that. But yeah, you got to be ready for things to come to you, and you just got to give yourself so much permission to step into it and own it. So I think that's exciting. That, one of the things that I love seeing so many people doing things and really taking things to the next level of it all. So one other thing, what else can we share? What can else I share? This is a long video. It will probably not be this long when it gets edited out. But oh my gosh. So any of you who follow me kind of know that I'm on a journey, so that's not new. But what is new, or what really happened new, which was last year, was I had to elevate my workouts, like to do strength training. That is a huge game changer. And I'm so glad I gave myself permission to step into, because I think I'd put those two colors on and then do the Fenty Beauty over it. I don't think I'll put the Merit colors on. So I don't need to do that. This is just makeup for filming today, to do second part of my summer dresses and video. So, was working and started last year, got a gym membership, and following different, really have a plan. And I know that my body hadn't really gotten stronger, but the definition and the shifts and changes were not happening. And so I was quite frustrated. One was I wasn't really being consistent as I normally would be if I was working out at home, letting things away and all the things. So I had to own that. And second, 2 weeks ago, I was like, I follow a couple people on TikTok, and this woman who lives in Chicago, and she was mentioning this other woman. I went and looked at her TikTok page, and the woman that was talking about, this woman's in her, I think, late 20s, or maybe she's early 30s. And she was like, the woman she was mentioning, she was like, oh, this is how I would like my body, because this woman she was mentioning was in her 40s. And so she was like, that's where she wanted to progress to. And so I went to check out that woman. Well, somehow being on that woman's page led me to discover the app Ladder. And Ladder is an app for workout. You can get a coach and a workout plan and all the things. And you can have your first week a free first. You didn't have to put any of your credit card information in. They just offer you a first week, a trial week. So I went in, looked for a teacher that I could have coach, and found one that resonated with me, what I was willing to do. Like the woman that I went to, Paige, like she's athletic. I'm not a super bodybuilder, and I'm not so athletic in that sense. And how her workouts were like, she had some stuff. She was jumping up on things. No, not jumping on anything. I'm like, you got to know who you are in this process, because working to something I just have to do. Like I brush my teeth, so I can teeth stay in my mouth till the end of time. Working out is that thing. Like when I was growing, I'm not so much been a working out person, so to say, yet I did things to keep myself in shape because I danced. I did tap, ballet, jazz, baton. I did that. I modeled. So I did that, kept me in really good shape. But when I stopped doing those things, and as time has come, and then I was doing little things at the gym, like walking the treadmill. Like I would walk and then I would walk, and that was my form of exercise. Well, baby, you got to step it up. You got to build muscle as you get older because it goes the freak away. So I'm like, I need to find a trainer that would be where I would still push myself and challenge myself, but just wasn't going to have any jumping, like not jumping on stuff. It's bad enough to squat and lunges. Not going to jump though. I'll do the squats and I'll do the lunges. And so I found this coach, found this program. And let me tell you, that first sample workout, that next day, I was like, okay, you would think not worked out ever. Like I hadn't been using my muscles. Like I just getting that kind of effect. And that's when I realized there is a game change, having a workout plan and a coach in this fitness thing of strength training. And so this is my third week. I'm in my third week kicking off, and I can tell you the difference in my workouts and how I feel. It's incredible. It is absolutely so. I'm so excited for this. I love I realized that was my downfall, not really having a plan, just going to the gym willy-nilly without a really good plan in targeted areas to get the results you want to get. You won't get there with a coach. And it's so interesting to have been a transformational coach and knowing and helping women with a big mission, entrepreneurs or women doing great things or women who want to write their story in a book. All that happened with my clients because they work with me. So it's no difference in the fitness piece. I needed a coach. I needed somebody to support me in that. Now, I love the app because technically I'm very aware of what I need to do. Like I don't need that of accountability or like I need a coaching. I love the fact that she's on an app and she just does the plan. I follow the plan and that's it. And if I have questions, I can ask. And I love that part. That works for me perfectly. So yeah. So I'm loving week 3. You can modify them too. So for me, I prefer machines if I can use a machine because it will make sure I'm doing the exercise accurately and it's targeting the muscles that I need to have targeted better. So that's that. I use my Fenty. The colors. I love the colors here. But my favorite color in this that I use more is that color right there. So I use that color right there. Yeah. And and game is up leveled. So this here is by Kosa. This is the brow gel. I used to get my brows done, and of course it got so much harder after we came back out of the pandemic because who I was going to, she's really good at brows, but it was already hard to get to her before. You had to at least be making your appointments like months in advance, like your month, these days, months in advance. And got so hard to get an appointment. And so then I went back to where I went back before, to the people that threading. No, that it was when I did, I just couldn't take it. I was like, oh no, it hurts too much. So we won't be doing the threading. I was like, I wanted to, pain was just excruciating. So I was like, well, you know, here's the thing that was happening. Brows were getting thinner. Like, I don't want thin. I like them to have some fullness to them. So I was like, well, I'm just going to grow my brows back. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm growing, getting all my growth into my own brows. That way I can have the brows that I want to have and love having. And this is a brow pencil. This is Benefit, precisely my brow pencil. It just really gives me some more color because I realized that one thing about my brows, they just come up like they get bad if I don't do this. Yep, so that is that. I'm gonna put my on. Now I do the magnetic lashes. Oh, I gotta do my blush. So which blush? Now I have two brands of blushes that I love. I have the Say and Lila. What color? This one is that color, and this one is that color. I think we'll do this color today. So I put it here. Make sure I'm blending it in so it don't have that line, that blush line I used to be guilty of having. So I'm gonna put my lashes on, but I have to do that in the bathroom with my other mirror just for the steadiness of it. Then I'll put my color on. You know what? I'm not gonna put lashes on. I'm just do mascara. I'm just gonna do mascara. And this is, what is this? Eye balm. I don't know where that's in here. I don't know where my lip pencil is. No idea. Oh, here's my lipstick. The blush color is called, and I'm just gonna put mascara on today. And this is Mary Kay mascara lash intensity. Couple coats on. Yeah, I used to be a Mary Kay independent beauty consultant. When we had space, and we moved to St. Louis, I quit my corporate job. My son was, what was he? Road, yeah. And I knew I didn't want to do corporate. I didn't know really what I wanted to do, but I just knew I needed to do something that was on my terms. And so a very good friend of mine who was a dentist, and we talked, so excited. She was like trying to tell me she was stepping into new. And I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, I'm a Mary Kay independent beauty consultant. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, okay, I'll be one too. And that's what I did. And I didn't think about it. Now, when I tell you I didn't think about it, we had just moved to a new area. We moved to St. Louis, Missouri, in that area. We were living in temporary housing because we were building a house. So we were living in an apartment in Baldwin, Missouri. We were building a house in St. Peters, Missouri. Not near each other at all. The Baldwin, Missouri was because it was closer to my husband's work office. And so we lived there. And where we were going to live, whole different community, whole different folk, whole different everything. Now, if I had taken that in consideration, I might not have said I would do this Mary Kay thing. But I didn't take it in consideration. And so I signed up and did. I was like, oh, I'm going to do this too. I did this Fenty lip, it's called Traced Lip Pencil. And the color is the Gloss Bomb Stick, the High Shine Gloss Stick in the MVP color. So I did Mary Kay, loved Mary Kay products. I was quite surprised because I was a snob about cosmetics at the time and loved it. But you know what? I got my biggest lesson. I think because I did my Mary Kay is how I was able to have the power to step in to do my transformational coaching business and in my publishing business. And yeah, I had my own The Little Black Book of Being Fabulous, and then published 9 multi-author books under Don't Be Invisible, Be Fabulous series. But all came, I stepped in to do a Mary Kay Cosmetics business, because that business is what woke me up, because I've been a corporate girl and I had no idea that you as a woman could do and be anything you want, that there was no restriction of education. I didn't know that world existed, but it exists in companies like direct selling or network marketing and all that. So Mary Kay Cosmetics opened my eyes and my mindset to something so much bigger than me, and to meet women from all walks of life. And that was a game changer, because had I not done that, I would have been stuck in my little bubble. Didn't think the only way that you can succeed is that you have to have this degree, that degree, work corporate ladder, and have a corporate job. To realize that you have the power to create your own destiny, I didn't know that exists on your terms, like something that you have to just decide to be a bigger, better version of yourself, to do the thing you want to do, because to create what you want to create. Yeah, didn't know that existed. So totally grateful for Mary Kay to get that experience. Had I not done that, I would not have known, which is the reason I can do all the things I do, and to know step to let go, and that I wasn't going to do the transformative coaching anymore, to put the publishing down. It'll all come back. And the books are under the whole brand of Be Invisible, Be Fabulous, which there's a bigger vision of that. It always has been planted in me. There's a bigger vision of that. But this is the platform that's going to support me in bringing that bigger vision. Because I'm learning the power of being an influencer and all of that on a whole nother level. But I get to do all that because I said yes to Mary Kay Cosmetics back in the day, not realizing I probably should have said no, because I was new to a community, didn't know, but I had to learn myself. Man, did I have to learn myself. And that was a huge turning point, because up to that point, I would have swore I knew who I was, but what I knew about myself was the corporate version of myself. Who was I without a business card? Who was I without this corporate title? Who was I without this corporate credit card and all the things of having that corporate gig? I had to discover that by being an independent beauty consultant and deciding how I was going to build that business, and especially since I had to do it the hard way, in the sense of I didn't have family and friends to kick off my business. I had to go and really build my business with strangers. And all that set way for when it was time for us to move and leave St. Louis, that God gave me the whole calling that it was time to let the Mary Kay go, which was shocking, because I thought that would be the thing. I had some hang-ups. I won't really say hang-ups. They're not really hang-ups. It's just that I don't like going into people's homes. Because what I really discovered, that those videos that they did, the training videos, were all nice and wonderful. And everybody doesn't live like you live or like I live, and their home isn't clean and all the things. And I'm telling you, I just have around being in people's homes, and just the disrespect that you can get from being in people's homes with their animals and all the things in your product and all this stuff that you have to keep nice. If you are a clean person and you want to keep your stuff sanitized and all those things, which I was and I believed in, people would have their cats walking on the tables, dogs sniffing. I'm just like, what the effing is going on here? So I didn't enjoy that aspect of the business at all. I actually just got anxiety about it. So, but it was for me to build a level of confidence in myself, to know that I could do anything. And so when God told me it was time to let that go, and he would let me know what it was I was going to step into, I had to trust. And when we moved here to the Chicago area is when before we left, is how that last moment while I was still in St. Louis, I went to eWomen Network and I met Katrina Sawa, who is so funny how full circle comes around. She's also a part of Polka Dot Powerhouse, which is a connection company that I'm a member in. And she was a speaker, and she came in from California to St. Louis to speak. And she talked about coaching, this online coaching space. And that was the light bulb that went off. That was set it all in motion. So when we moved here to the Chicago area, I was stepped into being a coach, transformational coach, and there was history. And so now I'm a fashion content creator, influencer, and building that thing and all the things that come with this journey, and giving my own self more permission to don't be invisible, be fabulous. That is something I have to walk in and live in every single moment of every single day to do my own work around being visible and being seen, video, all those things. So yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoyed episode or this series or this makeup application process, that me learning to do my makeup, you see watching me do my makeup, me talking and rambling about all the things, different things about me and just my journey. And I will come back again with more makeup and stuff, because this is the way to talk to you. And I just want to remind you to don't be invisible, be fabulous. Bye.